Hello everybody, how are we all doing today? Hope we're all doing well. The fact sheets. I got those yesterday and oh holy cow, was I just in shock for like an hour after I looked at those. Wasn't a video today? No, because there were 8 fact sheets to go through. And, that takes quite a bit of time. It took quite a bit of time to go through them all. Also, I was working on stuff around here last night as well. I'll be doing pretty much the same thing tonight, but I won't have 8 fact sheets to go through as well. So I'll make some time to make a video for you guys. Nice JD, thank you dude. Hey Gaming Geek, how am I? I'm good. Not too long out of bed, hence my cup of coffee in front of me. By the way, expect random lag. The game randomly reset my graphics settings today. I wish I knew why it did this. But yeah, expect some stutters because my graphics settings got randomly reset by FarmSim. Again. I'd love to know what's causing this. I really would. I might have a word with Giants when I'm over there and see. She'll be like, "Hey, my graphics settings kept randomly resetting themselves. Do you guys know what could cause that?" Hey, Eddie Boone Gav. Portrait trailers look nice. Yeah, they are very. I'm hoping there's like some non-dolly portrait trailers. Just because I hate dolly trailers in general. It's nice to see Portrait as a brand in though. Nice to see Fiat in. I think that was the real headline of the day. The horse trailer as well, brand new brand to the game. And there was something else, there was another new brand that I can't remember off the top of my head. Hey, Cheshire Cat. Gaming Geek, I'll be very blunt. No, because Landy's going to be streaming Forza, and I'm going to be playing Forza. Because we're all trying to get our Ford GT40s. We're all trying to get the Ford GT, the 67 GT40 Mark 1. Maddox just got his yesterday by spending a lot of money. I'm waiting on mine to be restored, and I was doing really dumb stuff last night, just derping about, waiting for that to happen. And yeah, the general thing is we're just kind of waiting for barn find restoration to happen. New Slayer Dragons, yes, Model Farmer, thank you. It was the, yeah, that was the other brand. I knew there were 4 brands that were brand new in today's fact sheet. I couldn't remember what the 4th one was, but it was Schweetmacher, wasn't it? So you had Schweetmacher, the guys that make the horse trailer, Fiat and Portrait, all in one go. As well as that, you had the wheel rake, the V-rake, which is a brand new piece of equipment to the game. And the horse trailer, which is brand new to the game as well. What else was there? The new Valtra, the Valtra A series, that I don't believe was in the game. In fact, I can check now. Didn't do any checking when I was going through them. The Valtra A. Yes, the Valtra A is new to the game. You've got the Magnum. The old Magnum, which I have seen a few people very happy about. You got the TX32 Combine, I think it was, or 34. I'm sure there'll be a couple of questions. I've already we've had Matt in TeamSpeak last night. The Case and the New Holland Harvester are both not his models. He can confirm. They are not his models. How many horsepower is the A series? You'd have to check the fact sheet, Darth, because I don't know off the top of my head. In fact, let me just real quick. FS19 folder fact sheets. 19th of October. Video of Ultra fact sheet 100 to 110. Just when you think I'm disorganized, you hear the amount of folders and subfolders I had to go through just to get to that one fact sheet. And you realize, actually, Dave might actually be organized occasionally. Great to see Giants focusing a bit more. Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. This is the most classics we've ever seen in Farm Sim. Since FS13, FS11, FS09. This is the most classics we've seen in the modern Farm Sim. I'm counting the modern Farm Sim era being from FS15 onwards. When we had the first major graphical update. You know, it's great to see Giants. And I really think this is what the theme of this week's fact sheets was just like stuff that the community wants, as opposed to stuff that stuff that the manufacturers want or Giants want. But this week was very community focused in the fact sheets, I felt. It was nice to see. Let's do some mowing, because I do need to finish the mowing. Just figured I'd finish the baling of that field before we did anything else. Probably more classics in hiding for the release. I can think of one or two more that I think might be in. I'm not going to say them. But I can think of one or two more classics that I think might be in and I'd like to see in. Kind of just as importantly as each other. On that front. The plan is we are going to get all the hay made today. It shouldn't take us the full stream. Whoops. Shouldn't take the full stream to make the hay. It might take a bit longer than the full stream to bale it all, but we should be good to actually get it made today. And we'll get a chance to use the Heath Super Chaser today as well, hopefully. In the very near future. So I get the feeling that, I said this to Chris yesterday when I was talking to him about it, kind of teasing him with the fact sheets that, without saying anything, well, without saying too much anyway. I think that this week's fact sheets were the ones aimed at converting people who weren't 100% sure about 19. Because there was a lot there that just people wanted, you know. The HW80 trailers, the portraits, so many people make those as mods. Fiat is such a highly requested brand. The American equipment, the V-Rake, Horsebox, you know, that's all stuff that would convert people over. And then, of course, on, was it yesterday or the day before, we had the video that showed the big ass milk tanker that I love. And, you know, there's so much that is just winning people over for FS19, I feel. They are bring John Deere 7810s to the game. Gavin, they've not announced a 7810. I mean, I could probably get cheeky and have a word with Lizardtan and see if I can weasel some info out of him, but Giants haven't announced a 7810. I'd love if they did. And by By the way, guys, I hope you guys are all prepared for the flood of 11090s that'll be coming in FS19. The absolute flood, the deluge of 11090 mods. Because everybody's going to want to get a 11090 on the console, and there's just going to be an absolute flood of the damn things. Things are looking up in FS19 for John Deere fans and Fiat 11090 fans. What year am I on now? I'm still in the second year seasons. We're probably going to call this a series after this year is done. In-game, because number one, I'm looking at views and they're going down and down and down, and Farm Sim's in the death spiral. Traff, I didn't crash at all yesterday. In fact, I landed better than you do. Do you want me to open up Project Fly again and show people your landing rates again? What horsepower is the class? Literally some. 185 horse. So more than capable of pulling these mowers. Doing seasons on Lone Oak at the minute. Very nice. What did I think of the new fact sheets? Liam, I literally did a video talking about them. But if you want the TLDR version, oh hell yeah! There's so much in them. The wheel rake, the V-rake, whatever you want to call it. That's amazing. It's going to be great for the American map. The new Valtra is going to be cool to play around with. The old Case Magnum is awesome to see in game. The TX Combine from New Holland, very nice to see that. See that as base game equipment. Nice to see a horse trailer that you can tow behind your pickup or other vehicles do exist. It is not Liam. It is not. We've had a word with Matt, and they're not his models. Giants were working on them separately before Matt's DLC came out, from what he told us last night in TeamSpeak. We spoke to him about the fact sheets last night in TeamSpeak, and from what he said to us, they're different models that were being made at the same time as his DLC. Hey Nathan. And he said, because apparently he's seen these models himself. He said they're better than his models. So take that how you will. Apologies for, I'm just noticing that the stream is quite laggy. Hang on. I'm gonna change my graphics settings because Farm Sim changed my settings last night or today, and I don't know why it did it, but it did it. So I'm just gonna change my graphics settings real quick. Let's turn down texture filtering. Texture resolution's fine. Shadow quality can go down. Shadow map filtering can go down. Shadow lights can go down. Light quality is fine. Terrain quality is fine. Shader quality can go to medium. Actually, terrain quality can stay high. Can this go to medium? Yes, this can go to medium. Let's turn these down to 100%. Just when you thought that my let's see, I can turn I'll keep an ISO 2x. Tire tracks can go down as well to 200%. Max mirrors can go down to 5. Rear seat beacons can stay on. Are Matt's models coming to 19? As far as I'm aware, no. far as I'm aware, Matt's models are not coming forward to 19. What prices are my cows at? I don't know. Oh, the game's super janky right now. Probably because it's rebuilding texture cache again. Just gonna let it rebuild the texture cache for this field. We should be good. See, Darth. Hey, Payne. What shaders am I using? I'm using Reshade with custom settings made by Mr. Simulate. And custom settings probably won't ever be made available at this point. Because we're kind of focusing on FS19 now. That's where our focus is going. Hey, Kian. So I think once we get to winter in this save game, we're gonna call that a series. We're gonna call this a series once we get to winter. We still have the harvest to do. Which should take us to the end of the month, roughly. And this is the last series of FS17 on the channel, so coming up very close to the point where I'm gonna be doing the biannual farm sim drop, where I just swap to other games for like a month. And that's so that I can go into FS19 all fresh and delicious. I'm doing good, Keen. How are you doing, dude? Hey, NHF. But you'll see a lot of a lot of people are going to be just dropping farm sim very soon. We're in what I like to call, and what a few of us call, the death spiral, where the views are just dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping, and they're not going to come back for this game. So we're going to be playing games that we enjoy on the channel, just enjoying ourselves for a few weeks and losing money. Now we're gonna just turn the channels into our own little playthings for a couple of weeks, and you know, you'll see a bit more on my channel, at least a bit more flight sim, probably a bit more Forza, maybe some other weird games as well that I haven't shown off to you guys, so you might see some weird and wonderful streams going on. And like I said, the whole reason behind it is, and there's a few of us doing it. Chris is doing it as well. Chris the Irish Gamer. Landy Kid's going to be doing it as well. And the reason we're all dropping farm sim for a few weeks to a month is, it'll be a few weeks really, is basically just so that we go into FS19 fresh, wanting to play some farm sim. Because right now we're all kind of bored and burnt out of the game because we've been playing it so damn much. I have, for reference, where's my Steam? Just so you guys get an idea of how much I played this game. 1,926 hours. So basically 2,000 hours in FS17. Which is too many. It's too many hours in any game. Especially over the course of 2 years. Hey, John Deere Boy Eagle. And almost all of those 2,000 hours are on the channel. Apart from like probably 100 or so where I just left the game running by mistake. Actually, it's probably closer to 300 hours, where the game was just running in the background because I'd forgotten to close it. I really like the Harvest of Ground texture in 19. That is so good. That is so good. Playing, I'll be honest, it's kind of different if you're playing a game casually than if you're playing a game primarily for YouTube and playing it every day. Like, I could play a game once a week for 8 hours a day. You know, for 8 hours a week and just do 8 hours a day, and I'd still rack up the hours super fast. But I wouldn't get burnt out of it. It's a lot different if you're playing, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours a day. Stressing over what, you know, trying to find something new to do, and it's difficult to find new things at this point in the game. I would argue almost impossible. So you'll find that a lot of farm sim channels are just kind of going through the motions at the moment. It sucks. This is the period of the game that everything sucks. Because we're all looking forward to the new game and we're still playing the old one, and slowly but surely people are turning away from the old game, looking more towards the new one. You've played every day for the last 11 months, you've 1,200 hours. But Liam, you're not looking for new things to do, and you're doing a lot more things probably manually, or probably automated. Do I play Overwatch? No, I don't play any, the only online-only game that I play, other than Forza, is iRacing. Which I've been neglecting, because I've been too heavily into Flight Sim. I might get back into iRacing soon. That's something that I won't stream on the channel, because it's got my real name. Yes, Ediboo. I've enjoyed the crap out of this, so I'll probably do this challenge again. And now that I've got the community page, I can actually ask you guys for suggestions, for rule suggestions before we even start, so that even episode 1, I can have a wheel spin. So that's an awesome thing that YouTube's done. It's given a lot more people the community page. I think it's already over like 1,000 subs or something like that. I don't know what the actual criteria for getting it are, but I got it, so I don't care. Being blunt. So we got a mow field 2 yet. And it looks like, unfortunately, we won't own all the fields, which sucks. Do on the first non-stock map I play. That would be a cool idea, actually. Because I'll probably have... From what I understand, I'll let you guys in behind the veil. From what I understand about the Germany trip, I'll actually be able to record over there, but not edit. Because they won't have any editing software on their computers. So I'll probably have like 3 weeks worth of videos recorded in Germany. So I can go ham on FS19, come home, and then just stream like a madman for like 3 weeks and not need to care about missing videos. And I'll love all the comments of you copying someone or other, and I'll be like, no, because I recorded this a month ago. Who remembers the first ever map in Farm Sim by Giants? I never played Farm Sim before FS13, so the first one I can remember is Haggenstadt. Hello, Simulart, by the way. Hey, Dragon Skies. Simulate, it looks like we're very heavily into the death spiral. I'm taking mine as well. Yeah, I was thinking that myself. I've been toying with the idea, and I've come to the conclusion that I'm too comfortable with my own mic to use any other. So I'm going to be bringing the Yeti and the little standy-doo that comes with the Yeti. I won't take my full boom, because that'd be a bit obnoxious. That'd be a small bit obnoxious to take the full boom. Another thing that I'm going to take, and I'm actually going to buy this in Cork Airport on the way out, is that's what I was thinking. Probably what I'll do is I'll buy some chewing gum for the planes, because I always get my ears are really susceptible to pressure changes, as it turns out. Get a new mic off Amazon for £25. It will not be very good, I would imagine, Dragon Skies. Considering by itself my boom costs about £17. I think my boom was somewhere in the region of 17 to 25 pounds. Comically, the little foam windsock I've got on my mic, that cost next to nothing because I stole it from another mic that I have. And the mic itself cost like £150. They say it's alright. The one thing I'll say about mic reviews, Dragon Skies, is that you need to watch videos of people using the mic, because a lot of people have no idea what they're trying to listen for with microphones. Well, yeah, your boom was good. Mine, I realistically should get a better boom, but the one that I'm using works. It seems okay. Yeah, go for it then. If you're happy with how it sounds to somebody else, then you should be good. One thing I will say, Dragon Skies, is when you get it, download Audacity and just set your mic up until you're happy with how it sounds without any filters on it. Yeah, I would say take the mic and a stand for it, just so that you got something... Just so that you can have some sort of setup for yourself. I would imagine that all the YouTubers that'll go, you'll just see everybody in the Giant's office on day one pulling microphones out of bags. Oh, I might... Yeah, I'm tempted to ask this that myself, because I'd like to try the Cytec wheel. I'd love to try the Cytec wheel. As a wheel nerd, I'd love to try it and be able to give some proper opinions on it. Because right now, I'm going off what I've heard from other people and what I can see. I'm kind of curious about giving it a try and getting a feel for it and seeing how it feels properly. Even though I know that my honest opinions will probably be it still sucks, but at least then I'd be able to give proper opinions instead of, well, I've heard it, I've heard this, and I've been told that, and somebody said the other. Hey, Soren, your wheel's broken. How'd you break your wheel, NHF? Hello, Anto Boss. Oh my God, Sim. New Year and Louis 700 Professional. That immediately rings alarm bells. Because whenever a mic says professional, that means it's crap. Whenever a mic says, this is professional. Well, no, it's not. You've just stuck a sticker saying professional onto a really bad microphone, and now you're claiming it's professional quality. It's like those YouTube videos. I nearly died. No clickbait. No, that's still clickbait. Professional studio. Oh my God. They just threw buzzwords onto the box, Dragon Skies. Do I play F1 2018? No. Mainly because it's F1 2017 with the reskin and Halos, and I hate the Halo. I hate how it looks. I feel like they could and should have done a bit more research into Halo looks, the aesthetics of it. Hey, hey, Matty. Your cousin got sounds in it. What's Audacity? It's a free sound editing program. I use it to test my mic periodically. Like if Satan voice happens, and I'm sure somebody will tell me if it does. If the Satan voice thing happens, when you hear me. Because I usually leave my mic open and I do this for whatever reason. When you hear me just saying test, test, test or whatever I do, and then I get it played back to me, that's me playing with Audacity. Just as a testing program, because I know exactly what Audacity is like. Hey, BF. You should try ATS. I have ATS. It's not, well, I don't have it installed, but I have it. And a genuine bit of advice for anybody who wants to just improve the quality of their microphone is to get Audacity and just use the Microsoft sound settings to tune your mic so that Audacity, the playback sounds good. You'll hate the sound of your own voice, because everybody does, but it's so useful for getting to grips of the weird little quirks of your mic. Yeah, we've come so far since our crappy little starter mics. I mean, yours was better than mine. Your Behringer was so much better than my little Samson thing. Which I still have somewhere or other, I think. But mine was so bad. One of the sensors was dead in mine. Like, when I put mine onto stereo mode, it was just mono on... It was just like the left ear only, which was hilariously terrible. One of the sound... one of the microphones in it had died completely. You're still on your starter mic? Get a good one, dude. You will be so much happier with a better mic. Yeah, mine was a rip-off of yours, which is a rip-off of... Wasn't yours a rip-off of, like... a Sennheiser or something? Cost you 20 quid. That's what, yeah, that's what my little Samson did. And it was dying so very quickly. Which is why I got the Yeti. I've heard Yuso's getting a Yeti, by the way, Sim. If you see Yuso around the streams, he's getting a Yeti. And he was in his shop today looking at them, and he was shocked at how big the Blue Yeti is. Which everybody always is the first time they see the Blue Yeti in person. It's like, what? This is quite large. It's quite a large microphone. It's like, yeah. It's got a lot of electronics in there to sound good. Or at least acceptable. If you're wondering why there's lag stutters and frame rate stutters going on at the moment, it's because FarmSims randomly decided that I needed my graphics settings changed again. I don't know why it keeps doing this, but it keeps doing this. And it's really quite annoying when it does it once a month or so. What do I think of the fact sheets? I think it's the biggest info dump Giants have ever done on a single day. Because if you look through the fact sheets that came out today, you've got 4 new brands, 2 pieces of equipment that were never in FarmSim before. Pretty much everything in it was new except the T6. And just so much information. Also, I'm gonna correct Landy. He's gonna hopefully apologize for this in his stream, or talk about it in his next FarmSim stream or whatever. But we were talking yesterday in his stream that the somebody mentioned that the chickens had a trough in the video that came out yesterday. And we both were saying, no, that's just a feeder. That's just the default feeder that it was in the game and in every map. No, we were wrong. We were wrong. We went back after his stream and in TeamSpeak had a look through the trailer in slow motion and full resolution. And yeah, there was actually a trough in the chickens, so it looks like you can actually feed the chickens in FS19. Which makes them slightly less pointless. Maybe I'll hate them less. T6 was the new design, though. Is it? Was I right in saying it was the new design of T6? Because I wasn't 100% sure. I thought it looked different, but I couldn't be 100% sure, so I'm glad I got that right. Mr. Simulate, I did not do a video on the video, therefore I did not look at the trailer in great detail. You hope there's a horsebacks type thing for cattle and sheep. Thing is, cattle cattle outside of Ireland. Gonna put that disclaimer in there real quick because I've seen some weird pictures of cattle in the back of say it's Secentos. Or Fiat Secentos or Chicacentos or whatever it is. What you usually do with cattle is you usually just bring around a much bigger trailer. Like the small trailer that's in game currently is what kind of the smallest you'd put cattle in. Sheep, yeah, you might get a smaller trailer for those. But normally they've been much in kind of bigger trailers. Now we just need Ford. I would say never, but that was... I've been proven wrong so much by bloomin' John Deere and now Fiat. Giants just love proving me wrong, so I'm gonna say highly unlikely. I'm gonna just sit right down in the middle of the fence there. It's highly unlikely, but it would be nice. Giants have been on this weird vendetta against me, proving me wrong with everything, even though I know that's not the case. There's a race course in the American map, Pro Gamer. In Ravenport, there's actually a race course. Granted, it's off-road, but there is one. Hey, James, how you doing today, dude? Use a landing eye for Williams. Oh, I'm wrong then, okay. Well, I know you could, like, fit one cow into a trailer, but... unless you're just selling a bull, you'd normally get a bigger one for multiple cow. One thing I do hope is that, if Giants don't do it, that somebody else does, is make a self-propelled milk truck. So not the full 40-foot trailer that we saw in the animal trailer the other day, or yesterday, but just a smaller one, maybe a... you know, based on the wood platform that goes on the... seemingly goes on the back of the man, but maybe might be built in. I'd love to see a milk truck based off that kind of platform. Because that'd be the one that I think more people would see on an everyday basis. I usually see the big 40-footers, but that's because I live near a milk factory, so... Studemacher. It's actually pronounced Schuitemacher. I believe they're a Dutch company, so I think it's Schuitemacher. Either way, it's pronounced not how you think when you see Schuitemacher written down. Everybody's happy for Fiat. It's Sweetmaker. I don't think it's pronounced Sweetmaker in NHF. Not officially. If you ask the company, they'll pronounce it completely differently from Sweetmaker. I think it's Schuitmacher. Or Sweetmacher. But it's not pronounced how it looks. That much I can tell you. Cause Dutch, yo. Hey Michael, how you doing today, dude? What are you on about? The Schuitemacher trailers, the new forage wagons. All Ford pack. People are going... okay, so the next brand you guys want in game is Ford. Apparently. Not Class. Have you guys decided you've changed your plans from Class? New animal trailer on the website from Wilson. That was in the trailer... that was in the trailer that came out yesterday, VF. Myself and Landy... well, myself and Landy had guessed for weeks now that the second Wilson trailer would actually be an animal trailer. We were kind of 50-50 between animal and flatbed, but we kind of came to the conclusion it would be more likely to be an animal trailer. It would be, it would appear that we were correct. The website doesn't say there are more Fiats coming. Probably not as base content, NHF, but now that Fiat's in game, there's going to be an absolute deluge of Fiat mods. Because even the guys that only make mods for console, or primarily make mods for console, with PC as an afterthought, not going to name names, but those guys are going to go out and go mental with making Fiats as well, because that's just going to be the way forward for them. Because Fiat's a popular brand. And we're going to see just this insane number of Fiat 11090s being made. Better be a day one mod. Well, I think Mad XGS is already planning on trying to talk somebody into making one. So, I would expect to see at least one Fiat 11090 coming out within the first few months of FS19. 6 forage wagons on the website today. That's quite a lot of forage wagons. That's maybe excessive numbers of forage wagons. How many are in game currently? So this is the fun bit of the new game coming out. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going from these 4 up to 6. Just as one single example of the game is getting bigger, yo. See you, Michael. De Schlutemacher. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming that came into that was in the fact sheets today. I'm trying to kind of piece it together a sentence as I'm thinking about how to say it. There's a lot of stuff that came through in the fact sheets today that was seemingly just community based, and I think this week's fact sheet theme is just giants calling out the community and saying, you guys have some really good ideas, we've taken some of them. Because the 4 trailers that came with, that were in the one with the Fiat, I see them on every mod site. The HW80s, they're on every mod site in every configuration possible, so it's great to see them in game. As a base game trailer. Obviously Fiat people are just demanding Fiat, so it's great to see that coming in. The wheel rake, the V-rake, great to see that coming in. I've been demanding that, honestly, for the American maps. And then you got a bit more of an American style case, the old Magnum, and just classics in general is good. One's a Fendt forage wagon. It is in Fendt colors NHF. However, Agco would happen to own one of the current brands in game now, and that brand would be Lely. So if you compare the Fendt forage wagon on the website to this one in game, the Lely Tigo XR75D, it is pretty much identical. It is the same forage wagon, just with a new paint job. I know it's a Dutch brand, Luke. Love the new Autumn Combine. It's great to see that in game, honestly. It's not going to be Matt's model, which is a bit of a shame, but he's confident that the Giants model would be better than his, so I'm still going to look forward to it. But it does look like Giants took a bit of inspiration from his DLC, which is good. You'd love to see the Lely Welger. You mean a conventional baler? That's not going to happen at HF just because of console limitations. I'm hoping somebody brings out a good conventional baler for FS19, especially with the horses being able to take hay. Hey, Jim says. No 390T. Oh, do you mean the Welger continuous round baler? That'd be pretty cool to see in game, actually. Because the Lely Welger I was thinking about was the conventional baler, the small little conventional baler, because that's a Welger as well. But I'm hoping with horses in the game that there are a few more conventional baler mods and they're actually made well. This time around, because I'd love to make conventional bales just for the horses. And I'd love to see bale accumulators and stuff like that. Because that's the kind of stuff you use for horses. A bit more than standard sized bales. Keep in mind, guys, that sometimes Giants don't put the coming soon in things when there is actually more stuff coming. They've got a history of kind of bait and switching like that, so don't think that just because there's no coming soon under Massey or something that there's nothing else coming. You know, Giants have a history of trolling like that, so maybe. Although the people who said that there was no other John Deere combine were correct, which kind of sucks, but meh. So this is the field with the least yield. This is just bought this randomly and mowed it up, so this is gonna have basically no hay coming out of it. I've not checked the website at all yet, so I don't know what's actually up there. Too many Valtras? Not Valtras, only Valtras. Valtra Simulator 2019. That's good. It's good to see some of the. I know Valtra's quite a big brand, but compared to John Deere, New Holland, Massey Ferguson Case, it's quite small. It's nice to see some of the smaller brands getting a bit of expansion in FS19. But until the point where one of the Giants employees says there's actually nothing else coming, ignore the fact that there's no coming soon, because Giants like trolling. Lintner is back with the... Oh, is that the Lintrack again? Because that's the derpiest looking tractor. Valtra A-Series looks like... I like the A-Series. I like the A-Series Valtra. I'll be very honest. We need the old T-Series. It's gonna be interesting to see when the game does come out and when when the full version is there for us to play. You know, VF and Sim get the bonus of getting it a bit earlier than even I do, and I'm getting it. You know, I'm getting to play it a bit earlier than you guys. It's gonna be interesting to see the full garage that's available. And the full set of machinery that we'll have. Don't think we'll get a 7-hour. I wouldn't be too surprised if we don't. I'd be very surprised, honestly, if we don't get a classic John Deere. Like if we don't get a 7810, I'll actually be very surprised, and not in a pleasant way. Or kind of an older 6030 or something. But I'd be very surprised if we don't get, you know, something that's a bit older from John Deere. because they're a company that's very proud of their heritage, and you know, I'd imagine we'll get like a 4755, 7810, something like that. If a Ravate comes into the game, you'll be so happy. I never say never, look. It's one thing that FS19 has taught me. When it comes to Farm Sim, never say never. Normally we don't get a classic tractor from a new brand. Yeah, but here's the thing, VF, is John Deere is not just any brand. John Deere isn't just any brand, it's John Deere. It plays by its own rules. So don't discount it. Never discount it. Historically, the number of classics has been decreasing, but look at FS19 now, there's more classics than ever. So, I don't think a classic Deere is too far outside the realms of possibility. And for a company that's as proud of its heritage as John Deere is, and celebrating a major birthday, and then I think it's 90 years of John Deere this year. You know, they're banking on heritage this year. They're banking on it, so there's gonna be, I think, at least one classic Deere. Possibly not in the base game, but I would not be too surprised if there is a John Deere DLC that celebrates the 90 years of the Deere. I think that should be the tag. We should argue that Giant should put a tagline in FS19: Farming Simulator 19. Never say never. One thing I'm looking forward to and dreading is the mod hub in FS19, because it's just gonna be green. It's just gonna be a wall of John Deeres. It's gonna be a wall of John Deere's, and then you click on the next page and this is ridiculous wall of 110s. Modders won't know what to make first, a 11090 or a John Deere. I'm so I'm excited for it, but at the same time dreading it because of the timings involved. And the amount of moving parts that are involved in me even getting over there, that terrifies me. I've never had a flight connection before, so that's genuinely terrifying me right now. Especially after Sim's issues with the flights last week. Hey, John Deere boy Eagle, how are you doing today? But overall, I'm excited because I get to go to Germany. I get to go to a country that I've always wanted to go to. That's kind of my main thing. Is like I've always wanted to go to Germany, and it's awesome that I get to go. Oh, VF, myself and Landy have been assuming that for the last 2-3 weeks, that, you know, you look at it, I don't know if it's cynically or just from a business perspective, but let's look at this logically, the way that my logic works here. John Deere is the biggest brand in farming. I know I'll be fine, but chronic anxiety does not help. Chronic anxiety does not help when there's 4 flights over 4 days. And they're all connecting flights. But let's look at the John Deere DLC possibilities logically. John Deere's the biggest name in agriculture. This is just the biggest. You're not going to get bigger. John Deere knows this, and a John Deere license is not going to be cheap to get for a game, especially not the biggest game in agriculture. You know, Farm Sim is the biggest game in agriculture. There's nothing bigger in farming than Farm Sim when it comes to video games. Which just adds a bit to the German terror, might I add. So John Deere's license probably didn't come cheap, and Giants probably will have thought about that and said, okay, how about we do kind of a weird split license where we get certain stuff for the base game and then certain stuff for a DLC. This is going off the assumption there will be the one John Deere DLC. Now, I think Giants will want the more modern stuff for the base game, and possibly through the insistence of John Deere, who are celebrating 90 years of the Deere, possibly more classics for an expansion, a DLC, whatever you want to call it. But here's a third little thought. Here's a third little thought, or a second, I guess, an addition to that. We're running under the assumption that there will only be one John Deere DLC. What if there are two? Cattle and Crops is nowhere near as big as Farm Sim. I'll be very blunt. Cattle and Crops is a failing game. Guys, the Giants are really nice. Yeah, I know Giants are really nice. I don't know what that came out of, but yeah, Giants are super nice. With all the interactions I've had with them, which still shocks me to this day that I can interact with them directly, and that I will be like interacting with them directly in person for like 4 days. That just what? But I think there will be at least one John Deere DLC, probably for classics. And I think there might be a second. I think there might be a John Deere Modern Equipment DLC. And I'll explain my logic here. I shall explain my logic. Now, I've heard that the 9R isn't going to be in for a reason. And a good reason, so that's just out of it. They're getting well paid. They're nice because they're nice people, Pro Gamer. Like, they're just nice people. But I think we might see a John Deere DLC with some of the more weird John Deere equipment. We'll say the forestry stuff, which isn't really agriculture, but I wouldn't be too surprised if you see something involving forestry, maybe grassland work. I know that that's all Kuhn just repainted. It's cool that I get to meet my fake German cousin Lizardan. I will do my best, by the way, guys, to get a picture with him. Although I am having issues getting the new memory card that I ordered. It was supposed to arrive Monday and it's still not here, so I'm going to be getting in contact with Amazon tonight and being like, yo, where the hell is it? There's no tracking info. I've paid for this and I've not got it. And it said it was being fulfilled by Amazon, so I'm going directly to you instead of to the seller, who coincidentally that product doesn't no longer exists on their page. So I'm probably gonna. I said that yesterday. Yeah, but I looked on Amazon and I said I'd give them another day. But so. Yeah, I'll be sending some emails probably after Landy's stream, and seeing if I can, get a replacement sent out or something, or just straight up get a refund and buy it in a shop somewhere in 2 weeks' time, because next week is just, I'll be stuck here and basically stuck around this town next week. I won't be able to go anywhere because my parents are off to the Algarve. So I'll be talking to Amazon and seeing what kind of resolution they are willing to give me, if any. And if they're not, I'll be going to my bank and doing a chargeback on the amount that I was charge for the memory card that I still haven't got. John Deere Cotton Harvester would be one of the things that I would put into the weird and wonderful world of John Deere DLC. Is that a classic feat in the fact sheet? Have a look at the logo beside it, Liam. You'll get your answer. Yeah, there's not going to be a John Deere Cotton Harvester launch. The only John Deere harvester of any kind is the T-Series. Hello, Silver. Who's Bev? I'm not Beverly, Silver. I don't know who Beverly is. W440. So 330 is what they've repainted, or they reskin or repaint, I guess, the Sample Rosenlud has. Bev is someone you've been speaking to today. Oh. What did you think of the fact sheet, Silver? I know you did a stream like as soon as they went live. As soon as it went public. What did you think of them? Too late! Already got ideas, Silver. Yeah, John Deere Cotton Harvester is round modules. They're called modules, not bales, for reasons of cotton people have to be different. So before, I thought it was a 330. Also, I just realized I still have my music turned down from, I think it was the Forza stream a couple of days ago, so just let me fix Pretzel real quick. There we go. Now I'm drowning out the game, I think. Empty mug can move to there. We'll just turn down volume by 1 block. There we go. Feet and new on combine are good. I like the fact you can harvest while there are weeds, but whoever did that field should be ashamed of themselves. Whoever did that field should be ashamed of themselves for taking absolutely no care of their crops. They're gonna have... whoever did that will have, like, no crops out of that field whatsoever. They're just harvesting weeds. Hello, Blage? You're blaming Lithium? I'm gonna blame Simulate, for reasons of always blame Simulate. Just pre-ordered FS19, so happy. Very nice, Jack. Maybe that was a biofield. Here's a thing for you guys. Here's a thought. Organic only is going to be damn near impossible in 19, isn't it? Because you'll have the opportunity to, you know, lift the weeds when they're small, but once they get bigger and the crops get bigger, you're not going to be able to weed anymore. So you're going to go, you know, organic only is going to be just the practice of losing yield constantly. Through weed infestations. Still possible. Oh yeah, it's still going to be possible, but it's... the yields will be just tiny. It's real life, yeah. That's why organic food is so damn expensive, because the farmers can't be bothered using chemicals that have been proven to kill weeds but not crops and not be dangerous for human consumption. Like real organic farming, yeah. I don't get people's fascination with organically grown crops, to be quite honest. I'll quite happily take the crops that have had herbicide and fungicide and pesticide thrown on them because they're guaranteed to pretty much have no ill effects. That description. Ah, Simulator Gaming's noticed the description. Corn doesn't need any of that. Corn's made out of soybeans! We shouldn't. Yeah, Silver, I'm with you there. I mean, I would say the easy solution would be GMO, but no, you'd still need herbicides and pesticides. Because you can. I wonder, could you engineer a crop to have herbicides produced only from the root and pesticides only from the stem? I think that might be possible. GMO might be the solution, genetic modification, but there's a big gang of people against that because they think it's evil somehow. Not realizing that pretty much all of our antibiotics come from genetically modified bacteria. Corn's made of fungus, not soybeans. That's even more disgusting. GMO's good only in the right hands. GMO, I think, is it would be a solution for organic farming, but I don't know if you could still call it organic. If it's been, you know, genetically modified in a lab somewhere so that it's not, you know, a natural crop. I don't quite get the stigma that goes along with it. I know genetic modifications of humans, which has happened. There have been tests to try and fight certain genetic diseases that didn't end well, made it as far as human testing, and then had to be dropped because people just kept dying. By the way, that's not me making stuff up. I actually read the real real reports on those, the actual medical journal reports, where it's a good idea, but it doesn't work, unfortunately. Well, Kubota's in FS17, then there would be Kubota in FS17. That's what if Kubota was in FS17. I'd probably be using a Kubota instead of a class, quite honestly. Even though they're distractingly orange as well. FS19 seems to be the game of distracting colours for Dave. I'm going to be very distracted throughout the entire game. From the overly orange Fiat to the eye-burningly yellow New Hollands. I'm going to be very distracted by various colours. And Silver, that is true to an extent. It's just kind of experimenting with what genetics can actually do. The best chance of being brought back right now from extinction is the Tasmanian tiger. CVF. The Tasmanian tigers are the best chance of being brought back from extinction, followed closely by the dodo. Because there's a lot of really good samples available of DNA from both of those. Mammoths are kind of a 4th or 5th biggest chance, I think. Hey, Max. What are we on about? Science! We started talking about organic farming in FS19. It devolved into us talking about genetic modifications. And with me having a degree in this kind of stuff and having focused on this kind of stuff for my degree, I'm at a bit of an advantage in talking about this. It's where I'm kind of... No, not Siberian tiger, the Tasmanian tiger. Google it, Sim. Google Tasmanian tiger. They look ridiculous. Or they looked ridiculous. They've been extinct since 1927, I believe. You're top dog. Sure, Silver, why not? What I study, it was biomedical science, but I focused in my final year on microbiology and molecular biology. So, bacteria and DNA and stuff like that, so... I have quite a strong background talking about that kind of stuff. Hello, Glengar. Jag, hello. For example, my final year project was looking at a strain of E. coli that is commonly found in healthy people that seemingly does nothing. But there were some interesting, very interesting features that it had that they shouldn't have had. And it's very closely related to the very bad kinds of E. coli, the ones that actively kill people. Passenger pigeon, that'd be kind of a medium candidate from being brought back. I don't know how many good DNA samples there are of passenger pigeons. Yeah, the Tasmanian tiger looks a bit like a dog, doesn't it? Or looked. That's not relevant, Denkar. It's unlikely, Silver. The last known individual was in a zoo and died in, I think it was 1927. Definitely in the early 20th century. So let's get all this hay raked up and ready to bale. Also say I've seen Sasquatch. That was just Silver leaving his house, Sim. Or me, for that matter. Some parts of Tasmania are yet to be explored. I find that hard to believe, Glenn. Yeah, Jag, I was saying to Chris yesterday that the fact sheets that came out today are the ones that will convince people that FS19 is worth getting. You know, we're a month out tomorrow, and they are the convincing fact sheets. Because they're dropping some big stuff today. Glengar, you're not going to believe it, but Fiat. Actual Fiat. Convinced you? Convinced a few people, I think. What else they have? They've still got a few tricks up their sleeve, of that I am sure. And of that I am very excited to see. Which model? It was the 1300. So not a 11090, but a 1300. Old orange with... I said this to Matt last night, and I still stand by what I said. The Fiat in the fact sheet is just hideously orange. I know that's the colour it was. It's hideously orange. But then you have the cab, which is so clean and white that it just loses all definition of anything that could be in the cab. That's my favourite piece of machinery that's been shown so far. That's a good question. Probably actually the wheel rake as like the most exciting new piece of equipment. Would be the wheel rake. I'm just straight up discounting anything that has been in the game already, as you know, it's already in the game. It's not exciting to me. But as for overall favorite, it's probably the T6 because I love the T6. Yeah, CEX will probably have one, and I know that I'm not pronouncing that rightly, but I'm doing it intentionally. CEX or any like random pawn shop will probably have a PS4 or Xbox pretty cheap. Fast Track 4000 is also a very good bet. Is Pretzel just having one of those days where it's just being evil to me? The Magnums look amazing. Like, that's really nice to see something old and American. Because traditionally the classics have all been European. It's nice to see a classic American vehicle. Classic American style tractor in there. And the Street Mockers, yeah, they're pretty interesting. It's nice to see something with the reverse pickup, as I'm calling it. You know, the backwards facing pickup. Yay, Dusty Dave. How you doing today, dude? Hopefully they'll have the 5150 as well. Maybe. You never know. But it's good to see, like, the older stuff this week. I'm really glad that this week Giants decided to throw out some classics and some newer stuff as well. You know, the new style T6. And what I've been told is the 8400R as well, again. The obligatory 8400R that seemingly is in all the fact sheets. Hey, Trinity! Basically so close now. Dave, I'm gonna ask you a question that you might not... Well, I'm gonna say something you might not like. I don't think it's worth releasing Bessie Beneath at this point. I think you might be better off holding it till 19. Because everybody's kind of beginning to shut up shop in 17 now. Including me. Like, there's no point in anybody on YouTube starting a new series, we'll say even tomorrow, even today, because we're a month out. A month is not very long for a series or for any kind of play on a map. And yeah, you have the guys who play FS17 for a while into 19, but is it worth releasing a new map at this point? I don't think so. Yeah, this is my last map. This is me until the end, and I'm kind of coming close to finishing this map too. Everybody's on their final maps. We're all kind of settled in for the end of the game now. And I think the better bet, if you're making a map or making a mod, is to hold it now. As sucky as it is to say that and to hear it as somebody wants to release it, and I know it sucks to hear it, Dave, but your better bet is to hold. Landwirtschaft HD, Dankeschön. Vielen Dank. Do I do different videos? Yes. Well, no, I do farm sim videos. But I'm hoping to get different videos up soonish. Next week will be, or next few weeks, I'll be doing different stuff on the channel. Because I'll be stopping farm sim very, very soon indeed. And taking a short break from the game before FS19. Yeah, okay, Dusty. Just so you're aware, I just wanted to make sure you knew that, to be honest. Do I speak good German? No, not very good and not much. But I can speak a bit. Ambition. Oh god, who do I look like, Trinity? Well, let's see who Trinity thinks I look like, guys. Because so far I've got, recently, Landy Kid Lizardhan, Silver to a certain extent, apparently. And then in the past, Pierce Brosnan and Lionel Messi. The guy off American Picker. That's a new one, and I kind of agree with you, Trinity. The fat guy, the short fat guy. I kind of agree with you on that one. Never occurred to me, but yeah. If you look up American Pickers, I do kind of look like the short fat guy in that. Steve Buscemi. I do not have bug eyes, Silver. Steve Buscemi. Good lord. Younger Francis. Yeah, younger, not quite as fat as Boogie Francis. V-Ray and Old Case will go well on the US maps. Exactly. That, like, I'm so glad to see those two in. It's great to see a bit more American style equipment in the game. There's a lot coming that I'm excited for, and a lot that I'm kind of hoping is still in. You know, there's a few classics that I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for a classic Deer. I'm hoping for a Woodshed 100. Yeah, Sim. I can't argue with that. I do look like short fat guy from American Pickers. Silver, maybe if you stopped cutting your own hair, you'd actually be able to model for somebody. Because right now, myself and Landy have been kind of saying it looks like you lost a fight with a lawnmower or gave up cutting your hair halfway through. What's my favorite restaurant? Depends on what I want, really. Do we know if the Puma's still in? That would be a safe assumption that it'll still be in. I think it's a safe assumption that all the big names from the various brands will still be in. Like, if I want Chinese food, there's a really good takeaway in town. If I want just chips and something else, there's another different really good takeaway. If I want chicken nuggets, there's a McDonald's. I can talk. I haven't had a haircut in a couple of months, Silver. If it looks like my hair's been cut recently, it's really not. It's just hiding in behind my bloody headphones. I'm gonna get one before I before I fly out, but that won't be for another few weeks before I get my hair cut. And even then, it'll be done professionally. Because my mother used to be a professional hairdresser, so she knows what she's doing. I get it done free and good. Should do live Q&A. That's pretty much what the streams are, Trinity, I'll be honest. I try and answer as many of the questions as I can that are asked during the streams. There's some that I'll just refuse to answer, but I try and answer as many as I can. Hasn't the Puma been replaced by the Maxim? I think I doubt it, Sim. Because the Puma is the next model up from the Maxim. Like, you got the Maxim and then the Puma, then the Magnum, and then the Optum. Or it might have been backwards of Magnum and Optum. How long have I been with YouTube? How long have I done YouTube? On this channel, it's just over 4 years now. And overall, like including my start-stop history, it's probably closer to 10. Across 2 different channels. I used to have a different channel, but I got rid of it because I wasn't happy with it. Yeah, I always mix up the bigger cases, I'll be honest. I always mix up the Optum and Magnum, so it's not too surprising if I do that every so often. Generally speaking, people are around like 27, 28 and doing YouTube. They've been on YouTube for a long time, and they've been kind of doing videos on and off for a long time. Hey, Brendan. And they know how far YouTube have fallen. Because boy, is YouTube in a worse place now than it was 10 years ago. Or even 5 years ago, or even 2 years ago. They make farming in a game harder than in real life? What? No? Are you just saying the Puma was replaced by insert random tractor here now, Sim? Who's my favorite YouTuber? I don't really have one. Depends on what kind of videos I want to watch. If I want to go to sleep real quick, I'll watch John Ward, who just has a really boring voice and reviews electronic guidebooks. So he's my nuclear option for getting to sleep. If I want to watch some weird games, I'll probably watch like Menu True Nerd. If I want to watch just some weird videos, it'll be Bill Wirtz. If I want to watch some strategy games, I got about 4 different YouTubers I watch there. You might notice Farm Sim isn't in this list. I don't watch Farm Sim generally. I'll hang out in Landy streams and sometimes in Sims if I'm not recording. But generally speaking, I don't watch Farm Sim content on YouTube because I kind of find it a bit boring, quite honestly, and I don't want to be burnt out of Farm Sim. I also love, I forgot, if I want to watch some good electronics content, I'll watch like Big Clive or somebody. And lately I've been watching a lot of lockpicking videos for some reason. I don't know why, but I just have. Matthew Bauer, thank you very much for subscribing. Welcome to the RainbowDave Madhouse. Hope you enjoy your stay. What time is it? 25 to 7. Very nice. Landy's going to be starting up in about 20 minutes, and I'll be finishing the stream then. Do I think you're a boy or a girl? Just because I watched The Matrix, girl. Basing it entirely upon the Matrix movies. Hey, guess what my name is? You're a boy, okay. Da, 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 da. At least we're on to windrowing now. We've got like halfway through all the hay work that we need to do. Well, that's just under halfway, I guess. Because we still need to bring out the super chaser and get the bales stacked up, and then bring them up to the yard, and then restack them in the yard, and sell off the old hay bales we no longer need. Simulator, I mean, you're making fun of me for getting mixed up between two very similar sounding tractors. Two very similar looking tractors from the same brand. Grass section of the case screenshot looks horrible. I think that might have been hay. If that was grass, then yeah, maybe it could do with improvements. I will get it. I will be able to record videos in Germany, but I won't be able to edit them from what I've been hearing. So I'll be bringing my external hard drive with me and recording like 3 weeks worth of videos. Just going absolutely mental recording. So that when I get back I can just edit and render them and just start uploading in bulk and have like, send me your schedule. What schedule? For Germany? I'm guessing you mean like flying into Germany? Because all I know is like my flights. Are you in the ground? It's the same as default FS17 texture. How long am I in Germany for again? Like 3.5, 4 days. I'm flying out the 17th. I'll be spending most of the 17th in Germany. The 18th and 19th I'll be in Germany, and the 20th I'll be spending a bit of the morning in Germany, a bit of the afternoon in France, and then I'll be home in the evening. Simulate, is it my flight times you want? Because that's literally all I have is in terms of a schedule. Airports and times. Yeah, Blumenek. Can I remember off the top of my head? Cork 6 AM. Schiphol. I think it's like 9 till 11 because time zone. No, 10 till 11. VF is flying out like 20 minutes after I leave. I can read this out on stream. It doesn't matter too much. VF is flying out like 20 minutes before me, or 20 minutes after I land. So he'll be through customs and stuff by then. Ticket. So Cork 6 AM, Schiphol 8:55 till 10:20, and then Nuremberg landing at 11:30. And then VF's is flying out at just after noon, I think. But he'll be like boarding by the time I even land. Hey Ryan, I'm so glad you don't have to go to Bristol. See you, Brendan. That's the only flight that you'd have any interest in, unless you're going to be in France on the 20th for some reason. Don't you fly out before VF actually on the 17th? I sent him that, Dusty. I sent him that video. And the TUI plane somehow greasing a full crosswinds landing with 40 knot gusts. Well, Sim, here's the reason. Here's the reason they built runway 27, basically. Because it's all the one. Is that's where the prevailing wind is. Most commonly, you'll get winds coming from that kind of direction. So you won't get full crosswinds. It was just that storm was very unusual and had direct southerly winds. For any conditions, that was butter. That should be in a textbook for pilots. Just like, this is how to do a crosswinds landing. Because you see so often the full gear just like the pilot slamming it down because they don't want to be blown about too much, so they'll slam it and kick the rudder. That TUI pilot just knew what he was doing, lay it down real smooth on the runway, got all 3 wheels down, then kicked the rudder. And when I say kick the rudder, when it comes to crosswinds landings in planes, the pilots literally have to kick it. It's not like put a lot of pressure on. No, it's a very sudden movement. It's the only time that a pilot will ever kick a pedal or make a very sudden movement in a plane is kicking the rudder for crosswinds landings. Hey Miles, how are you doing today, dude? And that landing for the TUI was right up against the, yeah, foot to the floor, kick the rudder as hard as you can. That crosswinds landing for the TUI was right up against crosswinds limits for the plane. Simulate, what time are you leaving Nuremberg at on the 17th? And your flight back is direct, so what time, I know that much. What time are you leaving Nuremberg? Is that a Hilux? It does look like a Hilux, doesn't it, Glengar? I said that to Landy last night, and he was like, I was like, I don't know if that's the meme just coming through there, or if it does actually look like a Hilux. You're on your phone, can't multitask. Fair enough, Simulate. I love watching crosswinds landings. I don't want to be on a plane that's doing one, but I love watching them. Well, I am pretty sure I've been on a plane doing crosswinds landings before. But then again, most of my flights have been Ryanair, and those pilots just love slamming. Does look like a Hilux. I thought I was seeing things, but okay. How cool would it be if it actually turned out to be a Hilux? She's like, yeah, we've got a license for a Toyota Hilux for some reason. Because why the hell not? Landy's live? No, he's not this early. He can't be live this early. Sometimes, oh, it's a lizard. If it's on the website, it's a lizard. He's live. 6:15 in the morning? Hey! That's 5:15 my time. You got a notification? My phone's disconnected from the internet again. Hang on, because if he is live, I'm gonna end my stream and go chill out and play Forza with him. Or else it'll be Bristol again. That's your own stupid fault then, Sim. Authentication error occurred. No, there was no authentication error. You're just being a stupid phone. Okay, turn off the Wi-Fi, turn on the Wi-Fi. I want to verify this. Why am I not able to connect to Wi-Fi on my phone? Connecting. Not connecting. Connecting. Not connecting. You'll be home by 11 AM. Wow, I'll be in the air at 11 AM. Because time zones. Authentication error. Why are you having authentication errors? So 2-minute countdown at the moment. He is live this early. Wow. Okay. In that case, I'll end the stream here, guys, because I want to play some Forza. I want to get my Ford GT. My 67 GT40. I need to get Forza time up to do that, so I'm going to end the stream here. Because I want my Golf Ford GT. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you did, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, stay safe and goodbye.